All right, good morning and welcome to yoga. We're going to start today standing. And we're really going to work on the hips today to get those started. So just standing with your feet hip distance apart and just feel the weight of your body on your feet front to back, even side to side. Make sure your feet are nice and grounded, hands on your hips. Take a deep breath in and then just start to do some circles. Don't really worry about if you're breathing in or out with these. Just make sure that you're breathing and then just try to make as big of circles as you can with your hips. Taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Focus on your breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just notice what you're feeling in your hips as you just gently move. Now come back to your neutral spot. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to switch the direction of those circles. So I want you to stay within your own comfort zone here, but make as big of circles as you can. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. One last time. Coming back to neutral. Now, if you have a chair or something to support yourself, it's going to be helpful. I'm just going to use the arm of this little sofa here. And you can support yourself. And all I want you to do is lean your hips all the way to one side as far as you can. Come back to center. Exhale, lean to the other side. You can, I don't have a wall that's going to be, well, I could be facing away from you. Downward facing dog. You can do it like this too with your hands against the wall, but your hips are moving side to side. Okay. Exhale, pushing the hips all the way out as far as you can, coming back to center and then going in the opposite direction. Your shoulders and your arms aren't moving. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. If you joined us a little bit late, we are working on really opening up the hips before we get into our yoga practice. And now take your feet just a little bit further apart than shoulder distance. Stop eating the plant. My cat's being naughty right now. All right. Now what we're going to do, we're not going to do a side lunge. We're going to do, well, out of the plant. Sorry. We're going to go back to a back angle. A little bit to the side, but also to the back. And this is to help open up some nerves um, in the pelvis. Okay. And then as you exhale, just going back towards the opposite corner, thinking of the back corners of the room, bend the knees a little bit. So we carry a lot of stress in the hips and also in the neck, and we're going to get to the neck, but those are both linked to the nervous system. So your nervous system gets wound up down in the pelvis, it gets tightened up here in the upper neck, and then the entire spine. And so that's today we're working on just releasing the spine through the nervous system. Good. Taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Coming back up to neutral now. Bringing your feet shoulder distance apart. Going to interlace the fingers behind the head. As you inhale, reach up nice and tall. As you exhale, try not to move your hips, just the shoulders to the side. Inhale as you come back to center and exhale. As you lean to the left, good. So here you're going to notice your feet. Try not to shift the weight on your feet, keeping your pelvis stable. So we're getting into some of these deeper muscles here in the lower back and on the side. Make sure you're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. Coming back to center. Hands down by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. Now we're looking for a full stretch from your wrist all the way down to your hip. So make sure that your left foot is anchored down into the floor. Inhale back to center, switching hands. Next inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, leaning to the left, pressing your right heel down into the floor. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, and make sure that you can still maintain the full breath. So I was a little too far deep into that. I couldn't get a full deep breath. You want to be able to get a deep breath. Breathing in and out. Good. Inhale back to center. Let's do one more each side. Exhaling to the right. Maintaining your full breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale back to center and switching. Last side. Exhale. Pressing down through your right heel. Feeling that stretch through your right side of your body. You might feel it more in your shoulder, in your rib cage, in your hips, low back. Just breathe into whatever you're feeling. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let's bring your hands down. Inhale, sweep your arms up, palms together. Now on the exhale, we're going to twist to the left. And so bring your arms down into cactus pose. Try to keep your hips from twisting. There's going to be a little bit of a twist, but think about it being more through the spine. Inhale back to center, and now exhale to the right. Let's take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, now we're going to flow. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more each side. Inhale, palms towards each other. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, palms facing each other. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Ooh, I got pops out of both of my shoulders. So let's start doing some big shoulder circles. Deep breaths, big exaggerated circles. And now we're going to switch the direction. So shoulders represent carrying the weight of the world. And when you carry a lot of responsibility, and oftentimes, especially women, this may be true for men as well, but carrying responsibility that doesn't actually belong to us, that kind of plays out in our businesses. And truly, we're not responsible for our business partners. We're plugging them in. Everything is there. It's available to them. So we want to think about releasing all the extra weight that doesn't even belong to us. And now we're going to do some neck stretches. In the past, we've done these seated. We're going to do them standing up. Inhale, reaching out through the top of your head. As you exhale, let your right ear fall towards your left shoulder. You can play with this. Actually, take your left hand and just bring it to behind the back. Notice how that changes that stretch. Breathing into whatever you're feeling here, this resistance in the body. You know, stress is always an emotionally based issue. And so as you breathe and just feel into your body and you allow these things to come up, you might actually have emotions that arise. And that's a beautiful thing. So just breathe into whatever comes up, whatever you're feeling. Now, as you exhale, let's let the head roll forward. I actually just found a spot right here. I'm only halfway forward. I'm going to pause. I'm going to breathe into that. It's a particularly tight area. You can let your head roll all the way forward. You can keep your hand behind your back or bring it down to your side. Let your head hang, chin towards your chest. Breathing into the upper back and the back of the neck. Inhale, lift your head to neutral. If you are taking your hand behind the back, let's switch arms. You can keep it on your hip. You can keep it down by your side. I'm going to take my right hand behind the back of my hand against the small of my back. Inhale, lengthen out through the top of the head. As you exhale, let your left ear fall towards your left shoulder. Notice what you're feeling in your body and where you're feeling it. Breathe into that. Imagine that you're bringing in white light with each inhale, directing it wherever you're feeling that tension and resistance. If you guys remember the scrubbing bubbles commercial, the bathroom cleaner, that white light is just cleansing any stress, any tension. As you exhale, just imagine it's draining into the floor and draining into the earth. On your next exhale, let your head roll forward. Again, I'm pausing here because I feel more resistance and I want to take a few breaths into that. So notice what you're feeling, breathing in that white light. It's cleansing. You're inviting your body to soften, relax, release, let go without forcing. Never forcing. It's an invitation. Now, as you exhale again, let your head roll all the way forward, chin towards your chest. Taking some deep breaths. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Now, bringing your hands down by your sides, or on your hips, half circles. Bringing your head back to neutral. And now you're going to lift your head an exaggerated yes. So looking up. As you look up, reach through the bottom of your chin. So elongating through your neck, reaching your chin toward the ceiling. And then slowly bring your chin back to your chest. We'll do this a few times. Again, feel free to pause and hold if that's what you need. Bring your chin parallel to the floor. And now, looking over one shoulder. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you look over the opposite shoulder. Moving at your own pace. Breathing in white light. As you exhale, imagine the stress and tension leaving your body, draining into the floor, draining into the earth. Good. Last time, coming back to center. Finding yourself at the top of your mat, coming into mountain pose. Okay, so you want your feet to be shoulder distance apart. So we're stacking the joints. Your hips are right over the ankles. Again, feeling the weight on your feet, front to back, side to side. Making sure that all four corners are evenly pressing down into the floor. Let's bring hands to heart center. As you inhale, sweep your arms back and up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. And here I want you to put a bend in your knees. This is a whole different kind of stretch we're feeling right now. Lower back, hamstrings. Let your head hang. You can shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Inhale, half lift. So slide your hands up your shins. You're going to lift your shoulder blades and gently squeeze them together. And then reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big cleansing breath. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Reverse swan dive, sweep it up. Exhale, hands to heart center, big cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, stepping back into plank. So you can be on your toes or you can lower to your knees. Exhale, slowly lower. All the way down. Flip your feet, inhale. We're going to come into Sphinx. So bring your elbows underneath the shoulders. Think about elongating through your spine. Your heart is energetically reaching forward. Take some deep breaths. Notice what you feel and where you're feeling it. Exhale. Coming back down to the floor, plant your hands, push up onto your knees, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. So here, I want you to begin with your knees bent a lot and focus on lengthening through the spine. So reaching your sits bones towards the back of the room, creating as much length as you can here, and then keeping the length, maintaining the length, you can start to pedal your heels. And take a big step forward or walk your feet forward, coming into forward fold. Let your body hang. Inhale, half lift. Reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big cleansing breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gonna step back with the right foot, setting up for warrior one. So bending into the front knee, and you should have a gap between your front foot and your back foot. Get your legs nice and strong first. Use the strength of your lower body to bring your upper body up. You're stacking shoulders over your hips. Hips are facing the front of your yoga mat. Drop the shoulders down and away from your ears, warrior one. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now we're going to move into warrior two. So you're going to turn so that your hips face the long side of your yoga mat. And now front foot, heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. So they are in a straight line, bending into the front knee, shoulders stacked right over your hips. Bring your hands out to shoulder height. Warrior two. Now look out over the left fingertips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, you're going to reach forward with your left hand until you can't reach forward anymore. Then we simply windmill the arms for triangle pose. You can look forward in the direction of your chest, or you can look up at your fingertips. You can use your leg as a support. Here, either the thigh or the shin. Some of you might even be able to reach the floor or use a block. In this pose, we want to imagine there's like a piece of glass in front of us and one behind us so that we're staying stacked, if you will. Some people try to get down and they completely change the pose. As you inhale, let's come back into warrior two. So just bend into your front knee. Gaze out over your front fingertips. And now reverse warrior. So your back hand rests on the back thigh, front hand comes up overhead, and your gaze is up towards the ceiling or down towards your back foot. Inhale. We're going to windmill the arms back down to the floor, stepping back into plank, either from your toes or lower to your knees. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. So it can be a baby cobra here. That's up to you how high you want to go. Exhale, slowly lower, pressing back into downward facing dog. Focus on lengthening through the spine. Pedaling the heels. Walking your feet forward or big step forward. Coming into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Big cleansing breath. So I'm going to switch the top of my mat because we're going to do the same poses and I want to be facing you and not facing away from you. So whatever works best for you, if you need to switch depending on how your mat is set up, so you can still see the screen. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. You're going to plant your hands. This time you're going to step back with the opposite foot. So you're going to step back with your left foot. Remember, there's distance between your front foot and your back foot. Bending into the front knee. Get your legs nice and strong. Inhale, sweeping up overhead. Your hips are facing the front of the mat, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Reaching tall through the top of your head, dropping your shoulders down and away from your ears. Warrior one. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now we're going to transition into warrior two. So you can just heel toe your feet a little bit. Now they're intersected heel to heel or heel to arch for alignment. Shoulders are stacked right over your hips. Hips are now parallel with the long side of your mat. If you look at your front knee, your big toe should be just inside of it. And then reaching your arms out, gazing out over the front fingertips. Warrior two. On the inhale, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, your shoulders and your arms are reaching forward. When you can't reach forward anymore, just windmill your arms. This is your perfect triangle pose. This is perfect for you right now. This is what your body will allow. You can gaze forward, you can gaze up. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're welcoming that stress and tension to leave your body. You're inviting your body to soften, release. On your next inhale, bend into your front knee, come back into warrior two. And then we're going to do reverse warrior. So drop your back hand, flip your front hand, palm facing up. Inhale, reach forward, scoop the right hand up overhead. Now we're looking for that stretch through the front of the body. You can gaze up towards the ceiling, or you can gaze towards your back foot, whichever feels best for you. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. We're going to, let's see, what did we do? I think we're just going to circle sweep the arms down, coming to the mat, stepping back into plank. From your toes or your knees, exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, you can come into Sphinx or you can come into Cobra. Whichever one feels best for you. Exhale, slowly lower. Pressing up onto your hands and knees. So I'm going to use I'm going to use blocks here. If you have blocks, you can use them. Otherwise, I will try to guide you through this. So from our hands and knees, you're going to come up onto your knees, step your front foot forward. So you've got basically a 90-90 going on here. 90 degrees for the front leg, and then your back leg's in a 90-degree angle. So think about reaching your tailbone down and tucking it under. As you tuck it under, you're going to feel a really nice stretch through the hip flexor on the front of the left side of your hip. So tucking your tailbone down, curling it forward. This is a really good way to stretch this area. So you can just do hands on hips. You can interlace your fingers and bring them to your thighs. Front thigh. Focus on your breath. So again, we're back to really focusing on the pelvis here and opening this up. So if you sit a lot, which most of us do, this can get really tight. And now for the front, the front leg, we're going to stretch out in front. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so your front heel is on the mat. Okay. And then before we get deeper into this pose, and some of you might feel a really good stretch right here just doing this, flex your foot. So as soon as you flex that foot, you probably feel more of a stretch through the hamstring, the back of the leg, and then just rotate. Think about rotating the entire foot and leg as one unit. So it's rotating in the hip socket. Keep breathing, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Your legs are connected to your pelvis. So sometimes there's tension in the pelvis. It causes problems in the legs and the feet, the ankles, knees. Okay. That's why the hips are so important. Now bring your foot back to center. Flexing the foot. You might want to stay right here if you're having a deep enough stretch. If more is available, now lengthen through your back. So as soon as you lengthen your back, straighten your back, you might feel even more of a pull here in the hamstring. So with that long flat back, take an inhale. If there's more available, exhale and start to hinge forward. Okay, I didn't have to go very far and I can feel that. Find your edge. Find your stretch. Find the tension. Breathe into it. The thing is we can't push ourselves through the tension because that's where we create injuries. It does the opposite. We have to let our bodies guide us. And as you feel that softening, that opening, you might be able to move deeper. You can feel your body responding. That is the way we like to do yoga. We're listening to your body. Creating a space for your body to finally soften, finally release, and let go. Some of this stress and tension we've been carrying for so long, we don't even realize. It's just become a part of us. So as you inhale, come back to center. Let's step that foot back. Let's curl the toes under now, and let's stretch the bottoms of the feet. If this is too uncomfortable to put your weight back, you can use your blocks, support some of your weight with your arms. You can go straight to the floor. Okay. If you can, that curling the toes under really opens up the bottoms of the feet. It's going to open up the flow of energy. You have several major meridians, which are like highways of energy that end at your toes. So this is really helping to get that energy flowing, which affects you on a physical level, emotional level, spiritual level, mental level. It all matters. And let's shift the weight forward. Pick your feet up. You should probably feel some achiness now. And switch directions. And now we're going to step the opposite foot forward. Okay, so we're going to stay in that 90-90. 90 degrees front leg, 90 degree your back leg. Tuck your tailbone down and reach it forward. And then you start to feel that in the front of the hip and the quad. So you can interlace your fingers, support your hands on the front thigh, reaching nice and tall through the top of your head while focusing on tucking your tailbone under and reaching forward, breathing into that. So it's important that we stretch the quads and the hip flexors on the front side, and that we also work on the hamstrings, the back of the leg, because that attaches to the back of your hips. So let's release this pose. Now, if you have blocks to support yourself, kick that front foot forward. Okay, and so the hamstrings, if the hamstrings are tight, that's pulling on the back of your pelvis. If your hip flexors are tight, it's pulling on the front of your pelvis. And we want the pelvis to be free, moving free. So with the foot flexed, and if you don't have blocks, if you can just be by a chair or a bed or anything for support, just give yourself some support. Flexing the front foot, and now we're rotating the foot and the leg as one entire unit, focusing on the rotation here inside the hip socket. Breathing deep in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now on this leg, I can really feel it on the outside. So I'm going to keep my foot over to the left. And I'm going to breathe into that because I can feel on that leg it's a little bit tighter. So throughout the yoga practice, I want you to make those choices, make those decisions, do those things because you're listening to your body and what your body needs. Now bringing your toes back to center. For this practice today, I'm instructing you to bring your toes back to center, but you can also do this pose. If I kept my foot out to the side, I could stretch. Oh, that'd be a really good stretch for me to do. So you have 3 different hamstrings in the back, and this can isolate and get at one of them better. I actually believe I'm going to do that today rather than keeping my toes straight up. So do what feels best for you, but this is what my body needs. So start to straighten your back. Inhale, lengthen, and then as you exhale, if it's available, lead with your heart. Focus on your breath. Imagine that you're bringing white light into that space. You can imagine you're sending love to it. I just bring it good energy. Okay, you're inviting it to soften, to let go, to release as you exhale. Just imagine the stress and tension draining from your body, draining into the floor, draining into the earth. Your imagination is so powerful because you are directing your body, you're guiding your body. Beyond your body, you're guiding your life. with your imagination. It's very powerful. If it's available, you can go deeper, try to keep your back long and flat so that we're isolating the hamstring. As you inhale, start to lift, release, bend that front foot, step it back. Now we're going to open up the ankles. So flip your feet so the tops of your feet are down against the floor. Come back. If it's available, you can sit right onto your heels. Again, if it's uncomfortable, you can bring some weight forward. But over time, gradually, you're inviting your body to open up. Okay, maybe it's been decades since you've sat like this. So do not expect your body to respond immediately. And also don't judge yourself for it. It's okay. So just breathe in wherever you are. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Shifting your weight forward. Let's pick the feet up. Do some circles in each direction. And now we're going to do another deep hip opener. And this is called frog pose. So you're going to need some space for your knees to go out nice and wide. You might want to turn and be on the long side of the yoga mat like I am. Take your knees wide. If you can, bring the inside of your feet down to the floor so that your toes are pointed out. Okay, don't force anything, just see if it's available. See if you can come down on your elbows. Now to increase this stretch, you can either take your knees wider, which I might, but then shifting your tailbone towards your heels. That's where you're going to increase it. If it's too much, you need less, shift your weight forward towards your shoulders. So find where this stretch is. Again, this is a big hip opener. Breathing into whatever you're feeling here. Shifting your weight forward. Bringing your knees back together. And then sitting back into child's pose. So sitting back towards your heels. If you have a block, I'm going to invite you to support your forehead and massage your forehead. There are emotional points in your forehead that just by massaging your forehead, it physically calms you down. If you don't have a block, use your fists. You can stack your fists. You don't get quite the same coverage on your forehead, but you can rock your head. Or if your head will reach the back of your hands, you can stack your hands flat. I actually got several cracks out of my neck, which felt really good. Pops and cracks. Now coming back into your tabletop. Curling your toes under. Coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling your heels. Lengthening through the spine. Reaching your sits bones away from your shoulders. You're trying to create as much space as you can between each vertebrae. That's why we let our head hang. Walking your feet forward. Coming into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, reverse swan dive. Sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do a balance pose. We're going to keep it real simple today. And it's always good to bring a balance pose in because Balance is something, if you don't practice it, you will lose it over time. So it's really helpful for healthy aging. And I don't know about you, but that's what I'm into. Let's start with the left leg, all four corners pressing down into the floor. Take your right toes out to the side. Inhale, reach your arms out to shoulder height. And then inhale, lift your right foot up off the floor. So this is Shining Star. I absolutely love this just because it represents we are individual shining stars. We're all unique. We're all different. Our bodies are different. Our life paths are different. Our backgrounds are different. But here we are sharing space with a similar intention for ourselves. So we're all shining. Good. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow and controlled. Come back to your center and then shake it all out. That's what animals do in the wild when they get scared. When it's over, they shake it out and it's over with. So we should do more of that. You can actually shake before you go to bed at night and just shake it all off. If you get stressed, shake it off. Right foot's rooted down. Inhale, lift the left toes. As you inhale, you're reaching in all directions, out through the top of your head, through your fingertips, through your feet. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. You know, your breath alone is calming to the nervous system because when we get stressed, we go into shallow breathing. So anytime you're feeling a little stress, remember my voice, breathe in, bring the white light in. And as you exhale, just let the stress and tension go. Just because you're feeling something doesn't mean you need to keep it. In the process of releasing, whether it's emotional or physical, it comes into our awareness. So whatever you're feeling, breathe into it. Slow and controlled. Bring it back to the mat. Shake it off. Take a cleansing breath. Ah, good. Come back to the top of your mat. Hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. I want you to take a moment to notice how much different this forward fold feels right now than it felt when we started it today. Big difference. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, stepping back into tabletop. And then we're going to come to a seated position. And we're going to do reclined. It's not reclined. We're just going to do toddler's pose. So just bring the bottoms of your feet together. Sitting up nice and tall. For me, it actually feels better just to sit up straight in this pose. Now, some of you may want to, well, first think about your knees moving down. Okay, if you're like this, some people gently put a little pressure on their elbows to bring the knees down. My challenging area is in the right side of my hip and a little bit of my lower back that I've been working through. So sitting up nice and tall in this pose feels best for me. So see which one feels best. And then one more option is inhale and exhale, leaning forward. So if you're going to lean forward, keep your back long and flat. Notice what you're feeling and breathe into that. Remember, whatever's coming, what you're feeling, you want to breathe into it so it can leave. What we often do when we feel pain or a painful, whether it's emotional or whether it's physical, we hold our breath because we don't want to feel it. But what that does is it holds on to it. So instead, let it come and let it go. That is how we process emotions. That's how we process pain, whether it's physical or emotional. So if you can take one thing away from today's practice, let that be it. Whatever is coming up, don't hold your breath and don't stop yourself from feeling it. It needs to come into your awareness so you can let it go. I've spent a decade working with people on their emotional trauma, and that's what we work on. It's the stuff that's been buried for decades. It's still there. So if yoga class brings it up, let it come and let it go. Don't be afraid of what you're feeling. Good. Inhale. Let's release that pose. Use your hands. Bring your knees together. And then shift back. Start to lean back. Keep your back nice and flat. And then slowly lower all the way down. Good. Bringing your knees into your chest. Giving yourself this nice little hug. Massaging your back. It might feel better to hold onto your knees. Let's actually do that. Holding your knees, making some circles so you're massaging your sacrum. And then switch the direction of your circles. If you guys have any questions that come up about the yoga practice or poses, just I'll give you time at the end if you want to ask anything. Because that is one thing about the teaching online. We're not in the same room, and I can usually pick up on a lot more things when I'm in person with people. All right, if you didn't switch direction, please do so. I think I said that. So let's hold on to the right knee and then stretch your left leg out. And so right now, I just want you to think about opening your hips so you can take your knee out to the side. Okay, do some movement here, see what it feels like. I feel some crunching going on in there. It feels kind of good. We're getting that movement in the pelvis. Bringing your knee back into your chest. Now we're going to do a spinal twist. Take your right hand out to the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the right knee across the body. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat. And then gazing out over the right fingertips. Inhale, slowly coming back to center. We're going to switch legs. Just start by bringing that left knee in towards your armpit, out to the side, even. Just start to move it around. Give it a big hug. And then we're going to switch sides here for the spinal twist. So take your left hand out to the side, palm facing down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the left knee across the body, keeping the left shoulder on the mat, and then turning and gazing over the left fingertips if that's available. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Breathe into it. Inhale, bringing your knee back to center. Bring both knees in. Giving yourself a nice little hug. And then moving into happy baby. So bringing the knees in towards the armpits. You can hold the outside of your feet. You can use your peace fingers to grab your big toes. You can hold your ankles. If you have a yoga belt, you can put a belt over the bottoms of your feet and hold the strap or the belt. So there's so many options. If this is difficult for you, then maybe you want to bring, you can use just a regular like clothing belt. Try to get a soft one or a canvas one. I mean, leather would work, but not quite as comfortable. But here, softening into the hips. Notice what you're feeling. Breathing into it. And slowly release. We're going to do one more kind of, there's a couple things in this pose that we're going to do, but reach your right foot up. Flex the foot. You can feel that through the hamstring again. And then we're going to cross it over for a figure 4. So I want you to notice, push your right knee down towards the bottom of your mat. What do you feel in your hip? So you can stay right here if that feels like that's what you need to help open your body, or you can reach through, grab the back of the left thigh. You can grab the left shin, bringing it in towards your chest. Now, if you're bringing the left knee in for this figure 4, you're probably going to feel a stretch through the right glute. And so that is a really nice stretch to kind of round out the hip work that we've been doing, breathing into it. Exhale, slowly release, and keep your foot crossed. And what we're going to do is let from your hips down, keep it all the same. We're going to let it fall over to the left. So leading with your right foot, we're going to do a twist. So the legs stay the same, letting it fall over to the left side. If it's available, turning your gaze out over the right fingertips and notice what you're feeling in your body and where you're feeling it. Inhale, coming back to center. We're going to stretch that right foot out. We're going to switch. So reach the left foot. Notice the difference when you pick up your left foot, how different that feels. Flex the foot and just stretch through the hamstring for a minute. Breathe into that. Cross it over. Notice what happens if you push against your left knee. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? And you might want to stay right here. Or you might want to reach through and grab behind the right thigh or the shin, flexing the feet. And then exhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. You're probably going to be feeling this in the left glute. But I always like to say probably because every body is different. And you might be holding some tension somewhere else that you're going to be feeling instead. But generally this isolates the glute area. So breathe into whatever you're feeling. As you exhale, release the right foot, let it come back down to the floor. And now as you exhale, keep your legs as they are. And you're going to let your legs come over to the right side. If it's available, the bottom of your left foot will be on the floor. You take your arms out to the side, and then you can turn and look over your left fingertips if that's available. Bring your head back to neutral first, and then as you inhale, Bring your legs back to the center. Reach your left foot up. Bring it back down to the floor, and one final hug. Filling your body with so much gratitude, so much love, so much appreciation. Literally every moment since you've been alive, its only job has been to take care of you. And sometimes healing that relationship with your body is super important, not judging it, not being critical. It's truly trying to support you in every way that it can. Squeezing yourself nice and tight. And then as you exhale, you can find your final Shavasana pose, reaching your feet towards the front of your mat. I like to take it towards the front corner so there's a little space in between your feet, and let your feet fall open. Let them relax. And then tuck the shoulder blades underneath your back. So you're drawing your shoulder blades together, and that's going to naturally cause your palms to be face up, which puts you in a receptive position. And then soften. There's absolutely nothing for you to be doing in this moment. This is time for your body to integrate the benefits of your yoga practice. I'm going to give you a couple of moments here. Set the intention for your higher self to speak to you. Let any wisdom or guidance come through. Set the intention to bring this feeling back with you, making this your new normal state. So I invite you to take 3 deep breaths into this feeling that you've created. Take a deep breath in through your nose, anchoring this feeling into every cell in your body. And exhale, release. Take another deep breath. This is your normal state of being. And exhale. Let go. Inhale one last time, deep breath. This is who I am. And exhale, release. Good. You can start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bringing your awareness back into the room, and perhaps take your arms overhead for a really good stretch. Reaching through your toes, making yourself nice and long. And then slowly, when you're ready, rolling to your right side. Use your arms to bring yourself back into easy pose. Taking your arms down by your sides. As you inhale, sweep your arms out and gathering the unconditional love of the universe that's always around you. As you exhale, bring this unconditional love down into your mind, into your heart, into your body, knowing it is always available for you. You're actually made from this energy. And know that when you are in this place and I am in this place, we are the same. We are one. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me today.